how's it going? My name is Jay and welcome to the channel. As you can see on screen, we are starting ourselves a new zoo in Planet Zoo. And you may notice that this isn't one of the normal maps that we're going to be playing on. We're going to be playing on one of the scenario maps. And this one specifically is the last one, which was titled Bernie Goodwin Memorial Zoo. And what we're going to be doing is we're going to be playing this in a challenge mode on the hardest difficulty, which is bound to be absolutely ridiculous because I am so bad at games when I have to up the difficulty. It is absolutely crazy, which is why I usually play games on sandbox mode. So there's bound to be shenanigans as we go through the zoo and try to make it successful. But I thought it was a long overdue that we actually get into a franchise mode or challenge mode zoo and actually get into the game in the way it was kind of meant to be played, I suppose. And what we're going to be titling this zoo is we're going to be calling it the MicroZoo. And as you can see on screen, it's very easy to tell why. We have only got this tiny square of space to build on this very tiny island in the middle of this really amazing bay area. I suppose it might have been based on San Francisco or something like that, because you can see this big spanning bridge in the background, the lighthouse, and of course the city in the back as well. But yeah, we really don't have very much space to build with, and we're going to be playing on a hard difficulty, so this is going to be a very interesting map to build on, and I think we're going to have a very interesting time building this. So, without further ado, let's get into the MicroZoo. Now, just for forewarning, it's been a while since I played any sort of challenge or franchise mode, so this is bound to get horrendously bad. So, I imagine at some point you're going to be shouting at me through your screen being like, Jay, why are you doing this? So, first thing we're going to do is we're going to need some cash. We start off with 40 grand, and that is not going to be enough for the long run. So first off, we are going to delete a bunch of the stuff that's already here because we don't need it. And that's going to give us a bunch of extra cash. So like you see that bit of deletion just gave us 20 grand, 200 extra, and this should give us 3 grand extra. Perfect. Just deleting this last bit of stuff. I'm going to leave these containers and stuff on the map. I'm just going to move them because some of it is quite cool stuff and I kind of want to maintain it for later use. And very quickly, I'm also going to flatten the terrain because I want this to be a very grid-based zoo. Now, for those of you that are wondering, my new schedule I'm going to try and maintain is that I'm going to have 3 uploads a week. I'm going to have 1 on Monday, 1 on Wednesday, and 1 on the Fridays. So as of right now, I'm thinking we'll do the MicroZoo on Mondays. We will have the Jurassic World Evolution series on Wednesdays. And finally, we'll have Sannikov Land on the Fridays. So I think that'll work out pretty well. Because this is a live play series, I won't be cutting it as much. So you're going to hear me make a lot of weird noises if I need to sneeze or if I need to cough or something. So don't mind me. And I want this to be quite an interactive series as well. So please do let me know in the comments down below what you'd like to see from it. If you have suggestions for animals, if you have suggestions for habitats, I am more than open to it. In fact, more so than Sannikov Land, because I really don't have a plan for the MicroZoo. All I know that is that it's a small zoo and we're going to need to really be careful with space and resources. So first off, let's get the basics in place. What do we need for the MicroZoo? So we're going to need, obviously, all the staff buildings. We got workshop, vet surgery, trade center, etc., staff room, keeper hut. Should we put down all of them at once? Because that will cost us about 15 grand, and that's a lot. Yeah, why not? Okay, so actually what I wanted to do is very quickly, I want to put a staff path that runs all along the outside of the zoo itself, so that our staff can access everything very easily and they don't have to worry about being too far away from anything. So we're going to be doing that. Let me just quickly get a regular path, and then we're going to switch over to staff path. I'm going to use this blue one. I think that looks pretty nice. Turn on flattened terrain, and there we go. Now I'm just going to quickly go as far as I can with these. Look at that. This map is tiny. We do not have a lot of space. and like I said, we are playing on hard difficulties. This is going to become quite interesting, I think, as we go along. Like, you see, things like this would take a really long time on a normal size map, like a really long time, and look at that, we already covered 2 edges like that. It was so fast because of how small this map is. So I'm thinking we might have to stick with smaller animals. I'm thinking the first animal that we're going to do today is going to be the Aardvark. I think that's a pretty good starter animal. And let me just quickly flatten out this terrain, I must have missed it. And we're going to try and make an underground habitat, because I think... Oh, I think I might have overshot this, did I? Nope. Okay, that's fine. But basically I'm thinking that we could have layered habitats almost, so like we could have staff areas on top of pre-existing habitats or guest facilities. We could have like entire restaurants on top of underground habitats. I think that would be pretty cool. So we're going to try and do that for our first habitat today. My god, I really didn't do a good job of flattening this area, did I? There we go. And keeping an eye on our cash, we're doing pretty decent still. We're still at 45,000, and we did start with only 40,000, so, you know, not too bad at all. Let's see if there's a faster way of doing this. Yeah, there totally is. Okay, there we go, we reached the end. Now to just do that, and we can keep going this way, and we will have covered the entire outside of the park. So one thing to keep in mind is that we are going to have to really pay attention to guest happiness and cash, because we are playing on hard difficulty. There we go, that's absolutely fine, and that really shows you how little space we have to work with. Like, not gonna lie, if this was a sandbox build, that would be the entire habitat for one animal. Like, one animal could fit in this entire area, but we're gonna have to make an entire zoo here, so that is what we're gonna be doing. So now, what we're gonna be doing is we're gonna take our path, we're going to put it up to 10 meters, and we're gonna deselect the grid. We're gonna try and get a path, maybe actually 8 meters. I want a high street essentially. So I'm gonna stick with this type of path, and we're just gonna go right across. Apologies, we do get the occasional bit of lag. If you guys didn't know, I run everything I do on this channel out of a laptop. It's a pretty decent laptop, but it is a laptop, so, you know. Okay, there we go. So that's the entrance sorted. Now, having a path that wide is probably a bad idea, considering, you know, what we're going to need to be doing during this entire build, but I think that's fine for now. And let's get our staff area in place. So I'm going to put it in this corner for now. So of course we're going to need a bunch of staff facilities. Let's see what we have. I'm tempted to just go with these pre-made blueprints because they're quite nice. And for the most part, I don't know. Do you think we should go with that? Obviously you can't reply, but I'm going to pretend you said yes. Yeah, let's go with these pre-made blueprints. They're not super expensive, like, compared to the regular stuff, so what we're going to do is we're going to get a keeper hut first. Just going to place it down here. Actually, also, by the way guys, I'm very indecisive, so that's going to be something you're going to have to deal with in this series. Yeah, let's just go with these. We're going to stick with a keeper hut just right here, as close as we can get to the path. Yep, perfect. And then we are going to need let's edit that group so we can stick to that. Okay, next we're going to need a vet for sure. Okay, just lining that up. What's that not snapping? Oh, okay, there we go. Why is is it not, my god, it's been a while since I built with blueprints. These things are confusing as heck. Why is it not letting me snap onto that area? I guess because it's already its own group, isn't it? Actually, yeah, that makes sense. Okay, that's better. Let's just snap these on and we can then... Essentially, we can then just use that initial blueprints pieces and duplicate them around so that they work just as well. Just like that. We will obviously eventually make these all look a lot nicer and make them more, you know, suited towards the park as a whole. But right now, we can essentially just stick to using the blueprints, and you know, I think it's fine. I don't think they look too bad, so they should be okay. That's something I forgot. What should we do with this? How are we doing for cash? Okay, we're doing absolutely fine for cash, so I'm not gonna fuss too much. Let's just duplicate that over here. Get this over as well, and we can just double this up here like that, and of course just duplicate these pieces. Okay, just like that. So this is going to look like a pretty straightforward, very, you know, standard industrial looking staff facility. So I'll just replace that one with a windowed version. And on this side obviously we can just stick to the standard this thing. Okay. Copy that over. Blam. Blam. Sorted. Now we just need this piece. Go to construction. And this must be metal clad or something like that. Metal plank, maybe. There we go, metal plank. Where's the window version? Yeah, there we go. Perfect. Sorted. And oh, we need to replace the research center, don't we? Perfect. There we go. Now we have our first staff building, and it's you know, it's basic. We will eventually make it look somewhat decent. I'm just going to split this so we don't get the crossfighting here. Okay, perfect. So we have our staff building. I think we need one more, don't we? We need a trade center, yeah, or else we're not going to get any animals. Which is kind of the whole point of this game, isn't it? And this too, I've got to just give this building a little trim up here. Perfect. Okay, now we need, what was it? Trade center, wasn't it? I'm just gonna put, you know, I'm gonna make it an extension, because now we do have that in place. We can kind of, yeah, there we go. That's kind of about that, almost. Yeah, there we go. That works out fine. Is that a gutter piece? Wow, they really thought this thing through, didn't they? Oh. I do love the amount of detail they put into the blueprint. It just looks really good. Okay, that's fine. And we need any other facilities? I think we're good. We should get a vet center. And I'm going to stick to the blueprint for the vet center for now. I'm not going to bother making it look nice just because, you know, we don't have the time or the money. So that'll be fine for now. And let's get started on our first habitat. Do we have any challenges? 2 different habitat species, we can do that. But what we're going to be doing, I think, is starting with that whole idea of having underground habitats. I think that would look pretty cool. So I'm going to get the terrain stamp tool out. I'm going to go down to about 8 meters. And yeah, let's get this in a suitable location. I think that's fine. And we're going to go straight like this. So You might think it's odd I'm not like, you know, being super precise, but I think a lot of this will be covered up with other pieces of construction equipment, so like plaster walls and stuff like that. So here we go, we've got our first little thing kind of chopped out of the ground, which I think is suitable. Now what we're going to be doing is we need to get guests down there somehow. So what we're going to be doing is we're going to be taking this 4-meter path, using that grid, and then sinking it down to wherever it needs to be. So that's perfect. And we're gonna just, yep, oh, no, that was a bit too far to the right. Perfect. There we go. Now we're gonna stick to 4 meters, and we're gonna run this right along the edge. Oh, no, that's why. I forgot that my flattened terrain is on, so I'm not gonna flatten terrain, I'm just gonna keep it like that. Okay. Shit, is that okay? We might need more space than that, actually. I'm gonna get rid of the path. Sorry, I'll just undo it. Okay. Now we need to essentially flatten this out even further. So we're just gonna double up on our space, so like that, and go to the edge once again. I think this will be fine. We can probably fit in quite a few species. I imagine this is going to be kind of like an underground night house almost, so like imagine you could come down here and there's going to be lots of different species, and I think that would be quite an interesting way to experience these animals in the dark. So we're going to try like get some red lights in there, obviously once we have a decent amount of cash, and yeah, I think it'll be fine. Oh god, sometimes this shift key kind of gives up on me. There we go. Okay, that's fine. Now we can go right to the end. Obviously, eventually we'll add multiple entrances, multiple exits, all that sort of good stuff. But right now we're going to stick to quite a basic look. Now, we need stairs, of course. This is my trick. If you ever need to make stairs that like doubles up on itself, it gets a bit tricky, so you'll need to just delete some of your already placed path and then work from there. Okay, so stairs, and then I always like to put landings on my stairs because you rarely see like just pure stairs that go up like consistently, so that's fine. Okay, so now we have our entrance and we can just sort this right back out. And of course all this is going to be made cleaner as we go along. It doesn't have to be super clean right now. Okay, I think that's fine. Should I make one on the other side as well, like while we're at it? Yeah, I'll just do that, because then the staff can come in this way actually. Okay, straight up. Just how we did it, straight up. And then landing. If you don't want your path to snap, by the way, just a trick, hold down the control button and it won't snap, so that helps a lot. No, need to get my landing flat first and then go up. Okay, and then align to grid, get this out here. Perfect. There we go. In fact, let's just connect these two as well. Perfect. Nice. Okay, so we've got our first kind of habitat shell laid out. Of course, it's not perfect right now, like I said before. This is all going to be neatened up as we go along. Oh, that's not straight. Perfect. So, what should we do for our first animal? Like I said, I was thinking Aardvark, so I'm going to go with that. Aardvarks are pretty chill guys, and it's pretty easy to find them because they're always up here. So we've got currently 2 females on the market. Let's see what their stats are like. This one has a good size and decent immunity, but no fertility, so we do not want that. I want a very fertile Aardvark. I don't mind about the size because this is a small one. I don't mind. Really good fertility, so we're going with that. No immunity, so I'm prepared to have a vet visit the second this guy gets into the park. This Aardvark's amazing, but of course we don't have that many conservation credits, so we can't really purchase him right now. Sorry. And it needs 330 meters of space, so we should be able to get that in this first part here, a good square of space. So let's just kind of put down a barrier and see what we're looking at in terms of space here. So I'm gonna try and snap to terrain, and I'm just gonna try and line this up here. So I'm gonna see whether this will be enough space essentially. I think it should be. This looks really big actually. I'm thinking this is a lot more than enough. Don't know why that took. Oh, come on, don't snap properly. There we go. Okay, so if you ever want to check how much space an area is, of course, just attach a fence to it and click on the gate and you'll be able to see it. That is way more space than I need. See, this is my problem. I really overestimate spaces like this, or underestimate them, so to speak. I always thought this was like, oh, this is fine. This could fit 2 entire sets of animals. So instead of changing things massively, why don't we just split this habitat in half? So I'm going to delete this so we can snap again, and yeah, splitting this habitat in half should be perfect. So I'm just gonna get this down to the right length. Perfect. So now we have 2 habitats built in. And you notice I am using the null barrier because I think that will be kind of best right now. Later on, if we want to use any actual barriers, we can just add them, which I will in a little bit, but right now I don't think it's necessary. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to actually do this here. I'm going to add in little path pieces like that, and I think that will really help kind of sell this idea of a night house, so that we have a little space where guests can walk into it a little bit and see the animals up close. So yeah, that should be okay. So what I'm going to do now is I'm going to yeah, perfect, just like that basically. I didn't even describe what I was doing, but I just wanted to change the fence essentially. Perfect. Straight up now. That enough? Might need to go one more than that. It's not perfect, but it'll do. What I might do is I'll just move this here so that it's kind of lined up and straight up there. Perfect. Now excuse me because I need to sneeze. Oh boy. Oh, sorry about that. I've had a bit of an allergic reaction to something today, so I am remarkably sneezy, so apologies if you hear any more of that as the video goes on. But you know, we'll try and power through it. Is that the right word? Oh boy, I was meant to start a timer to make sure I didn't overrun on this video, but I completely forgot, so oh well. Oh no, here comes another sneeze, guys. Be prepared, it's gonna be bad. Oh no, I didn't sneeze. That's the worst feeling in the world, when you want to sneeze but you can't. It's, hate it. Hate it. Okay, can we connect? Why is it not letting me connect? Oh, strange. There we go. Perfect. Okay, perfect. Now we have our habitats laid out. We just need some doors for our staff, of course. And oh crap, I didn't leave enough space to get a staff door in. That is a rookie mistake, Jay. That is absolutely a rookie mistake. I think this should work out fine for this habitat. And then I'll need to figure out another way to get that habitat in. Okay, 528, that's perfect. Chances are it won't be enough as we go on because of the fact that, actually, let me think about this. I'm gonna get rid of that door. How are we doing for cash? 29 grand isn't bad at all. Okay, we can still do this. Oh, apologies for the sniffly noises you might hear. Again, my nose is the worst. Okay, so let's see what we can do here. Can we? Yes, that is perfect. We have enough space to actually make a staff part just around the outside here. Perfect. And that means we can put a gate just on the side here, and I think it should work fine. Perfect. And we can make this square, I think? Can we? No! Well, sort of, I suppose. Okay, so the terrain is being a little bit weird here, so I'm just going to flatten it a little bit. Take the size down. Okay, that should be fine. Okay, that's fine. I don't mind if it's a little bit off center, that should be fine. We'll hide all that away with some walls later on. And yeah, I think that should be fine for now. Let's actually get, let's start making the habitat itself for the Aardvark. So, this is going to be an almost entirely indoor habitat, of course. We will have some skylights, I think, that will look nice. So, we're just going to go temperate because that is the biome we're in. I'm going to go with temperate rocks to line the habitat. So, rocks are pretty expensive, so I expect us to kind of run out of cash relatively soon. But, you know, gotta take some risks if you want a nice looking habitat. That is my life philosophy. One thing I'm quite happy with is because this zoo is kind of built on a grid, if you just turn on angle snap, your rock should line up pretty well and stuff like that. Not perfectly, but pretty decently. So I'm just going to adjust it slightly here. That should be fine. And I don't know if you guys have watched my previous tutorials on how to do rocks, but basically the go-to message is always rotate your rocks. Like, it is such a big deal. It makes everything look tremendously more realistic if you rotate your rocks. Like, it's such a big deal. That's like my whole message in all my tutorials, is just always rotate your rocks. You know, it really does help the look of your park, helps make everything just feel so much more natural. It is a huge deal. Really saving you a lot of effort trying to make it look realistic by like rotating things afterwards and after the fact and stuff. So there we go. Almost at the end here. And there we go, just rotating that last one. Perfect. So there we go, that's going to be the barrier between the Aardvark habitat and whatever comes next to it. I'm thinking other animals we can include are like anteaters and stuff like that, so that should be a lot of fun. And I want this fence along the outside to be a pure glass fence. Oh, didn't mean to do that. Barriers, so this should be a one-way glass. Ah, crap, we don't have one-way glass, do we? In fact, we're too close to the path regardless, so I'm just going to move this. Okay, now this should be okay, I think. Ah, still too close. Is that okay? Yeah, perfect. Okay, now we can... okay, just about perfect. Okay, now we just need to adjust this one. Perfect. Okay, so I'm guessing that, and this one will be the same. Just push this out a little bit. I'm guessing all of these will need to be a little bit further out anyways. Let's do that. These minor edits and stuff are much easier to do after you've already placed down the fence, so you know what's reasonable and what's not. Okay, perfect. So the old glass fences, I might change one to be... actually, what I'm going to do here, this is a good technique by the way, so if you're interested, so if you want like good corners on your glass pieces, just do this. So separate your pieces at the corner and then make the corner whatever thing you want, concrete, or I'm just going to use the corrugated metal here. I'll probably eventually switch that to concrete, but I think it works quite well. Same goes for these two pieces here. Just separate them out like that, and then yep, then you got another section for corrugated fence. And that'll just give you some nice edges to make it a bit neater, essentially. And all these sidewalls are going to be made of rock, so I don't have to worry too much. I'm just going to put an edge here. Just wherever it can snap. Yep, perfect. Okay, so that's that. And now we can get the habitat itself sorted. So first off, I want to use a lot more rocks. We are at 29 grand. We're really not doing too bad off for cash, so I'm not going to worry too much about that. And one thing I need to keep in mind actually is the fact that rocks do, affect the what do you call it, the traversable area of an animal. So always keep that in mind. Okay, these long rocks are really useful, but they also a pain to kind of position. Also, but yeah, I'm just gonna plug that rock tutorial again. I did think that came out pretty well, and I think it's pretty useful if you really want to learn a bit more about how the rock system is and what all these different rocks are best suited for. I think that tutorial really is quite helpful for that sort of stuff. So I'll try and remember to link it in the top of the video. If I forget, please do yell at me in the comments. It will help me remember. Okay, that's that. Okay, so that's all that rock stuff done. Now just for this little area here, start off with a big rock. I do love these big rocks. I call them the base rocks. The first three rocks you see here, rock 1, rock 2, and rock 3, I call them the base rocks because they're the ones that are most suited to kind of building up whatever rock formation you're going for, and I think they just look really good as well. Okay, there we go. Oh. Yeah, perfect. And of course, once you have like a rock formation in place, feel free to use whatever rocks you want to accent them, make them look a bit more realistic. So, like I really like the bigger boulders, like these pieces here. They can fit really nicely in the corners, and just give you a more realistic look. So, just double checking our traversable area here. It's not going to change, but I just want to make sure. Yeah, 500 should be enough for two, what do you call it? So 2 Aardvarks. That should be fine. I'm just gonna cover these with the corrugated metal as well. That should be okay. Whoa, what did I just do? Undo that. Okay, I just want to select this tiny thing here and move it slightly. No, didn't mean to do that. Yeah, that's fine. I mean, it's not super noticeable. There's a bit of a bend there, but I'm sure you're a guest, you wouldn't notice it too much. So, Aardvark time. Oh, we need to hire some staff, don't we? So let's hire some staff first while while I remember, basically. Just plop them here so they can get to where they need to be. We'll need 1 keeper, 1 caretaker, and do we need a vet? Yeah, you know what, let's get a vet as well. And do we need anything else? You know what though, I think we don't need a mechanic or anything like that right now. I think these 3 are fine. But I'm just remembering that we do need a research center. Oh, we do have a research center. Oh, okay. So if you've been watching this, I assume you've been shouting at me for the past like half an hour or whatever, because I completely forgot to include any sort of power source for these for this entire zoo. So let's get that in place. I'm gonna get... Oh my god, I can just see the comments now being like, Jay, what are you doing? So we're gonna need a transformer. I'm gonna find a good spot to place it. Honestly, we could get away with like 2 transformers in this entire zoo. Look at how much that area covers. That's basically the whole thing. So I'm gonna try and place this in a somewhat strategic location. So I'll put it here. that out of bounds? Like, I think it might be. Okay, so I'm gonna put it here. So just here, next to this building, it's kind of floating. We'll obviously make a structure for that later. But yeah, that'll be fine. And that should power all our staff buildings, and it should be all good. Now, let's get into decorating this habitat a little bit more. We need obviously some power, sorry, not power, we need some benches, utilities, etc. Just gonna put down a couple basic benches here. Just put one down in the middle here. That turned out more aligned than I thought it would. It's not perfect obviously, but surprisingly decent. Okay, need a bin. Just put a bin here. I'm sure everyone loves to sit on a bench next to a bin. It's the perfect spot. And is that? Oh yeah, we need the screens, don't we? Education. Remember guys, educate your public. Okay, this is gonna go here on the fence. I think that looks nice. So, what should we educate these people on? So, aardvarks are probably more damaged by climate change, so I'm gonna put that there. I just have another sip of water though. And we're going to put the screen just on the glass. Yeah, I like the look when it's on the glass. I think it floats quite cool. And just kind of gives you really good. So we don't have the Aardvark yet, so we can't do that. But we're also going to need to put down some speakers. So an educational speaker would be great. I'm going to put it just behind this actually. So we can put it there and then float it just like that. You can't see it behind here though. Well, you know what, I'm gonna just sink it into the ground actually. There you go. Out of sight, out of mind. And by that I mean I am almost definitely gonna forget that's there, and we are completely gonna forget to give these guys any sort of educational speakers, so remind me in the comments if I forget. Just be like, Jay, you're an idiot, and I'll be like, yeah, I know. Okay, so habitat-wise, what do aardvarks need? Species, we're going to go with Aardvark. Oh yeah, we haven't researched anything, have we? So I'm just going to put down the basics. We're going to get a food bowl in here. I'm going to get a water tap. Let's put that here. Never liked the blue colour, so I'll just switch out to some random colours that are more suited. What I'm going to do is I'm going to roughen up the terrain. I do like when animals have like a bit buffer of terrain to walk on. I think it's quite interesting. There we go. And then smooth it out just after. And our food bowl has disappeared. Okay, just gonna get that out of there. Okay, so that's a bit better. We are going to need a shelter. What I'm going to do is make a rock cave back here so that they can shelter in. And that should be absolutely fine for them. I'm going to use the cladding actually because it's way thinner and should be much more suited for these animals. So I'm just going to... Remember guys, rotate your rocks. Okay, so just putting that there. Anyways guys, how are you all? Hope you're all doing well. You know, as well as you can be. I do hope all of you are, enjoying the videos, and hopefully, I know, things are crazy out there, and I hope these videos can kind of give you guys like a short bit of kind of relief from, the world outside, and can just be a bit of an enjoyable thing for you guys to watch. So I do hope that is how you guys, feel about the videos, and I hope you do enjoy it. So yeah, now what we're going to do is we're going to actually increase the size of the cave a little bit so that I'm going to turn off that angle snap so that we have a way for the aardvarks to essentially like get away from the guests like completely, because right now obviously if they go in here guests can still see them because the front is exposed. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to get some pillars in, and these should help a little bit. Just going to put a couple in here. These will both help kind of block the guest view, and hide the Aardvark slot, and also make it look like obviously this has some support to it, and a couple more rocks here and there. This is going to reduce the traversable area quite a lot, so I imagine we might end up only being able to have one Aardvark comfortably, but if that is the case, we can of course just change things up. So let's put some bedding down. That's fine. I think that should be okay. So without further ado, let's adopt some Aardvarks. Oh, we already did, didn't we? Oh my god, yeah, we totally did. So let's see if there's a male now, actually. Switch up the species filter, refresh the list. No, we do not have any more Aardvarks at the moment, so let's just get the one that we do have into her new habitat. And of course all this is going to be indoors as we go on. In fact, I'm going to start just doing some really basic work here. I'm going to need to... Actually, what I'm going to do is, just so we can start making some money, I'm going to put down a couple guest facilities just off to the side. They're not going to be fancy or anything like that, they're just going to be purely so that we can start making a bit of cash. You go here. Oh no, I didn't want to put down that, I want to put down information center. God, that's such a creepy sound, don't you think? Okay, information center, gulpy soda. That should be fine for now. We're going to put those down, we're just going to add some benches and bins, and we will delete them once we made some money and we can find a bit of a better place for them. Okay, that's fine, and an ATM should help as well. Where is that? Yep, there we go, in this little ATM here. All this will be changed later on, don't worry. One thing we do need to do is look at the prices. We're just going to put adult down to $5. I don't know if that will completely put them off, but we'll see. Are our staff doing that? Can't find an accessible to... Oh, I haven't unpaused the game, obviously, because I'm an idiot. I think Aardvarks like more sand, so we'll just start getting this a bit more ready for them. I'm going to put thingy down both of these quite low, and just start getting these this habitat a bit more suitable for them. It's all soil right now. It's not even like light soil, it's heavy soil, so we're just gonna get that in place. Some light soil, some grass as well. Not much of it obviously because this is all indoor. Can't imagine there would be much grass. Some rock along the sides to blend with the rock walls. And yeah, that looks a lot better already. They will need some plants. Let's see, they are an African animal. I think it's grassland Africa, so let's see what we have in terms of trees and stuff like that. Oh, how Aardvark has arrived. I want to go with something drier that doesn't really look like it'll be out of place in... Okay, let's see. What do you need, my little dude? Your welfare is awful. Wow, your terrain is really bad, so you're going to need a lot more grass actually than I expected, so I'm going to go with a decent amount of grass. Oh, I'm still on rock. Wow. Get you some long grass right back here. I'm still going to try and keep it quite sandy looking, but for the most part, that shouldn't be too difficult. Some long grass. Okay, that's perfect, and now we just need a little bit more soil as opposed to rock. Okay, that's fine. It's a bit more green than I would like, but we can always fix that with some rocks, like some low-lying rocks. Before we actually do anything else, I just want to quickly get someone on research. So, Lucinda Cornwell, you're going to be researching Aardvark so they can get some enrichment. Because currently she's alone without any enrichment, and that seems like a pretty shitty life. So here we go. Just gonna put down some marula trees. I think that really helps sell the kind of aridness of this environment. Oh, that one was way too much. That's fine. Let's look at your terrain. Have you got enough terrain? You've got plenty of terrain. I wouldn't say plenty, you got 380 meters square, that's not an awful lot. Welfare, you're getting better, I guess. Really needing some enrichment though, so Hopefully that person can get it done quickly. Just gonna turn on this, and I did remember we need to there we go, we can actually set this up for aardvarks. This area is all sorted with our first animal. I'm just going to pause it now, briefly. I just want to do some quick construction work so you can have a bit of an idea as to what I'm planning for the sides of this habitat, essentially. And we're going to need, I think we have plaster, don't we? Yeah, we do have plaster, that's perfect. Plaster, if you've watched Sannikov's Land, you know that plaster right now is like the golden child, basically. It is perfect for any need you might have for a non-gridded item. So let's get 2 times 4 meters, perfect. That just overhangs just enough that I would want it to. So what I'll do is just put that there, angle snap, get a vertical version, put that there, down, and essentially go all the way around. Sorry, not all the way around, all the way down. There we go. And you can just, I'm just going to group these, and we can edit the group, and essentially we can send it all the way along the side, and later on we can change the color if we like and give it a bit more depth, and later on add the roof whenever we have a bit more cash to not have to worry about it, and we can start adding a roof essentially. Perfect. Okay, well, you guys get the idea. I'm just going to do this just to show you what the plan is, and then obviously later on we'll have the more formal version where we're going to really do up this area. Huh, they're all going to view the aardvark from here. I wasn't expecting that. That was not my intention for this habitat, but sure, why not? We'll get them oh, donation boxes, that's super important, isn't it? That's how we're going to make our money. But right now we're losing quite a decent bit of it. I'm just going to put some up here. I know this isn't meant to be where they're looking at, but like right now while they are all looking from up here, I am going to put the education and stuff here so that they still donate, and we'll delete it later on. Okay. So that's the aardvark. What I want to do actually is that, remember those logs we saved from earlier? I'm just going to grab 1 or 2 of them. I'll just get the 1. Okay, exit group, and I'm just going to lay it down here. So it looks like they've got a bit of enrichment, and they can run along the log if they want to, stuff like that. So let's look at your traversable area, 270. I think when we have 2, it is going to go up to 380 or something, so we're going to have to be very careful about this. Let's see, do you have a second aardvark we can get yet? Please? Can I have a male aardvark now? Nope, they still have no male aardvarks. Come on guys, come on. What I want to do actually is just quickly theme this area a bit with some rocks, just make it look like more ingrained here. I'm just going to go for those 10-foot rocks again. And we're just going to get the cladding pillars and lay them down here quite just outside the glass. These long pillars might be better actually. Yep. Perfect. Okay. And remember guys, this zoo is I'm gonna try and be very conscientious about how many pieces I'm using, because there's a reason I don't run Sannikov Land in a live play like this, and that's because it is way too detailed for my computer to like handle it. So my laptop anyways, and that's why I want this zoo to be like decently playable. Okay, so just a little bit of rocks there. And it really does help the look of it, like just a little bit of rock work. And I'm gonna put some above as well, I think that looks nice. Yeah, that looks really good. Yeah, I think that looks quite nice actually. Really sells the whole underground vibe. And it's not underground now, but it will be. And I think when it's underground, I will remove that cave shelter, because technically they will have their shelter requirements completely met then, if they're underground. And from what we can do from there is essentially just, where's my train of thought going? Uh, what was I thinking? I've completely forgotten what I was thinking about, guys. This is not good. So what I was thinking about was... I don't know. I really do not know. I'm just going to pretend I didn't say anything in the first place. But yeah, that's our first habitat, all sorted. I think we're getting up to a decent amount of time now. These videos are going to be a bit longer, probably about 45 minutes to an hour each. So because it is a much more casual series and I'm not overly fussed about things being super perfect, I'm not going to like really heavily detail them, because if this was like a Sannikov land habitat, that would take like 5 hours basically. Oh, beautiful. Look at the lighting. This is such a beautiful game. I'm just gonna like oh, that lagged. Look at that. The effects, they just incredible. So beautiful. Anyways, I think I'm gonna stop there because obviously we haven't got an awful lot done. It's pretty straightforward for now, and we need to make some money before we can really get into the you know, the nitty-gritty of building and making the MicroZoo look pretty good. But yeah, I do hope you've enjoyed it. Let's just quickly see whether there's anything we can do before we finish up. Not particular. I'm just going to speed things up until we get our first research item, so we can give her some lovely enrichment items, and then we can finish up the episode, and I can leave you all with some very mild cinematics. They won't really be of the habitat, they'll be more of the entire island itself because it's beautiful. But yeah, one final note, I know some people wanted me to play franchise mode instead, but franchise mode isn't really a possibility for my computer just because my Wi-Fi is not the best. So adopting animals and stuff always lags my game quite badly in franchise, so you know, challenge mode I thought was a pretty good midpoint, and also because you can only play the scenario maps on challenge mode and sandbox and not on franchise for some reason. So there you go. Well, I don't think we're going to get anything else. Let's just quickly have a look at the research and see whether our vet is done with it. If she is, then we can probably no, it's a long way off, so I'm going to leave you guys with that. Just kind of stare at this beautiful sunset while I finish up. But yeah, thanks so much for watching, guys. I do hope you enjoyed this new series. It's a very different format that I'm used to. I can't really take my time to be like super creative and detailed, but I really enjoyed this nonetheless. So I do hope you guys have enjoyed this. Oh wait, never mind. Vet research is complete. Let's very quickly collect this, give our Aardvark some enrichment, and then I will let you guys go. So we must have some form of enrichment for these Aardvarks now. Yes, we have a lovely barrel feeder that we can give our Aardvarks. Okay, it's blue, which is a nice color, but I think this would look better if it was just like that pale green. And yeah, that should really up our Aardvark's like condition. Way better now. Look, welfare is at 78%. That is brilliant. I'm just gonna keep the game on play, and we've also got a reward, which is 1 grand. Nice. Anyways, yeah, we're done now. So thanks so much for watching, guys. If you enjoyed this video, please do give it a like. Of course, do subscribe for more Planet Zoo and Jurassic World Evolution content. I will see you guys on Wednesday with Jurassic World Evolution video, and then on Friday with the Sannikov Land one. So until then, I will see you guys in the next one. Thanks for watching. Bye bye.